Diary, it's May 2026 and we're looking at the unboxing and chat of the Momods 15.6 inch LCD portable monitor. I'm interested in this, and so should you be, because this monitor only costs £49 from Amazon Prime. Now, there are a number of other monitors at this price point, so if this one isn't available, there's a whole slew of equivalent monitors. Let's see what I get in this box. So, I've got some paperwork. I've got a UK power adapter, a mini to regular HDMI cable. I've done my research, we're going to need that. We've got a piece of padding. We've got the monitor itself. Oh, and underneath the monitor, we've got some extra bits and bobs. We've got a USB-C to USB Type A cable, and we've got a USB-C to USB-C cable. Okay, so get that out of the way. Let's put the monitor. So I chose this one out of the menu because this one claims to have a nice case whereby I can use it to protect the monitor whilst travelling and also stand it up. So let's see if that's true. It's quite a thin case. Okay, there's a bit of a protective bit there. It's quite a thin case, very thin. However, if it does the job, I don't really care about that. Okay, so we've got two levels of angling, if you can see that. One level and a second level. In the right camera position. So, that looks good. This one has a power adapter. In some of the other adverts, I couldn't definitively see whether a power adapter was being shipped. Now, the thing that you're all going to be looking at is what interfaces does it have. So, this monitor comes with not a full HDMI interface, hence why it comes with this full to mini HDMI cable. On the side of the monitor screen, we've got a mini HDMI, we've got a USB-C, and we've got a DC 5 volts power. So the plan would be that you can power this monitor separately, and then you can connect in the HDMI socket, or you can use the USB-C to transport both video signal and power. A word of caution would be that I had many years ago a similar monitor to this, which cost a lot more than £49, and it caused the laptop power supply, the laptop internals, to fail because I think it took too much power from the laptop. So I personally have learnt from that and will be powering this monitor screen separately from this supplied power adapter. So that's the interfaces. What's on the other side? Oh, on the other side, we've got a button, which is a power off and off button, a menu rocker, and a headphone jack. Why have I bought this monitor? The principal reason is space saving. Currently, I have this rather old-fashioned, huge Acer monitor. It's so old, it has a VGA socket, and it doesn't have an HDMI socket, hence the converter plug here. So the idea would be to replace this monitor with this monitor, which I would use for occasional debugging of something like a Raspberry Pi. So we're going to plug the Raspberry Pi in, we're going to plug the power in, and we're going to try and see if it works. Okay, Darry, we're all set for the big test. So we've got the screen plugged in and powered. We've got a keyboard which should have its own battery, but it's a bit duff, so I've powered it with a separate power supply. We've got a Raspberry Pi with a pre-canned USB drive. The screen was alive a second ago, but has gone into power saving mode. And I'm going to plug this in here and hope it works. This is the power to the Raspberry Pi. As soon as it's powered, it will try and boot from this USB key, I hope. It's booting. Raspberry Pi 5, 4 gigabytes, HDMI came up. It's found the USB drive. I can see it's opening a file, reading the kernel. We have a working screen and a booting Raspberry Pi. Now the speed of the boot is dependent really on the speed of the media. In this case we've got the quite a fast USB key here. This is at least a 200 megabyte per second USB drive, and we've migrated all Raspberry Pis that we use for all our smart home activities to external USB drives. And nothing else, if you maintain regular backups, which of course we do, it's easier to back up these keys than the SD cards, in my opinion. Full upgrade. So I hope you can see that the screen is working a treat. I don't think I'm going to go back to my old large mains powered Acer screen anytime soon. Okay, this is a quick shot to show that connected to a MacBook Air for a single supplied USB-C to USB-C cable which they put in the box, I do get a connection and a display. Now, with the power adapter, which is their power adapter, plugged into the bottom, I think I tried it a second ago and it was brighter. Let's just plug that in and see what happens. Plugged it in. So I got a much brighter display when it was being powered from the power adapter. So I definitely use the power adapter based on my previous comments about not wanting to load a laptop. But also this has the ability to have a bright display. There may be some way of getting that bright display and a laptop USB-C connected power, but I would err on the side of caution and use my £49 monitor with its supplied external power supply. This screen is very good value for £49. It's got a very thin case. Look here. It's got a very thin case. This one came with a power adapter and power lead, and that is plugged into this separate power socket here. It's running to the Raspberry Pi with the mini HDMI cable, but it can connect directly with the USB-C connection to a suitably powerful computer like a MacBook or a modern USB-C laptop. I have no doubt that's going to work. For £49, I'm impressed with the fact that I get the case, the screen. I've got an HDMI, so I've got a menu button here, a backward button there, and a jack there. If I actually try and use those, what happens, because I've not shown about that. So let's just go to the menu button. So I've got menu button here. I've got brightness, which I can change. And if I go that way, I've got Type-C or HDMI. So I can flip between Type-C and HDMI. As an emergency monitor that you can just keep in a cupboard or, you know, anywhere really, in a small drawer, I think it's a winner. Thanks for watching.